E3.
Yeah.
We'll start with the Xbox One X, which was Project Scorpio, which is not the Xbox One S, which is not the Xbox One. So the One S was the upgrade to the One, which basically gave it HDR. Not 4K total compatibility, but HDR.
And 4K streaming.
4K
movie watching.
but not game watching. So the One X gets you to the point where it's 4K gaming.
Oh, man. Okay, so the Xbox One X is the most powerful gaming console
Ever!
in the world!
For right now, until 2 months later where Sony announces something.
Yeah, I mean, not...
Let's talk about that real quick. Should that matter in this day and age anymore? Because technically when most of consoles come out the past 30 years, at the time they were the most powerful console ever.
No.
At one point, Intellivision was the most powerful console ever.
Initially, first off, I find the whole marketing aspect of this thing to be very oddly 90s with the you have just witnessed the most powerful video game console ever, like, shit that they had all around E3.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I can't remember which video it is. I think it's the one that's during the I think it was the one during the conference, but it like literally shows like a woman holding a controller, and like it pans up from underneath the controller, and like a light comes on or something, and it shows her hair blow back.
Really? So we're talking like really 90s audio,
Yeah,
almost like
what,
commercials.
what the shit? Like, and that's what the basic pitch for the Xbox One X, which is a very dumb, confusing name, revolves around. And I think that's what made Microsoft's press conference in general so lackluster to me, is that they focused on this more powerful console again after last year with another
The One S.
with the One S, and still not a whole lot of exclusive games, a few, but it's
Well, there's less and less with everything going to Windows 10 in the future anyway.
right.
So
And a lot of things are having timed exclusive windows, and it just, I don't know what Microsoft's trying at here by releasing a more powerful console to play
the same games.
or less games, or it doesn't.
Well, they're not going to throw out the people that only have an Xbox One.
Right, obviously. So I just
like we said before, the generations are gone. We said that for a year or two.
Yeah.
This is it. They're gone now. When you have 3 consoles in 4 years, 2013, 2016 with the One S, and now what is coming out later this year?
yeah,
November
for $500
for $500.
and it adds basically, okay, so you look at a comparative chart of features between Xbox One X and Xbox One S. Clever, guys. That's not gonna be annoying. And here are, and I'll tell you, I have a little bit of shop humor annoyance that's gonna drive me fucking crazy here.
Can we talk about teraflops, Ian?
No.
That's important. Teraflops.
So, features: immersive true 4K gaming on Xbox One X, but not on Xbox One S. Super sampling means even new 4K games will look great on a 1080p screen. 40% more power than any other console with the Scorpio engine. 4K textures and assets with 12 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory. Record clips in 4K resolution at 60 frames per second. Everything else under that line, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's like 15 other bullet points, are the same between the Xbox One S and the Xbox One X.
Except for $200 more.
$250 more.
Is it $250 you can get an S now for?
Yeah, S is
Okay.
$249. So really, it's 4K gaming is what it's offering you.
You get teraflops.
And you do get some enhanced, and it will max out the performance on certain games. So
Okay, let's back up a second. They're going to try to sell upscaling in reverse. So if I have a 1080p TV, they're telling me the game's going to look better graphically running on this somehow. There's going to be a better resolution. That's what you just quoted me.
yes, super sampling.
That makes no fucking sense. The resolution cannot be greater than the screen it's outputted on. Unless they're going to do some magic tricks in the renderer with the extra horsepower. That's different than saying your game's going to be a better resolution on a worse output screen. That's just marketing bullshit.
We're all about 4K, as you know, Microsoft's more said.
Mail me a 4K TV then.
Near the kickoff of my demo, he pointed out that the Xbox... This is Kotaku, I guess. He pulled up a still shot of the 8 million pixels that can fit into a 4K image, compared to the 2 million pixels you can see on an HD TV running a game in 1080p. Yep, it was definitely 4 times as many pixels. Xbox One X... Xbox One X will do super sampling for people who connect the machine to a non-4K TV, which they say will crunch those 8 million pixels into something that will still look better than 1080p.
Okay, like I said, maybe it'll be a higher ultra render at 1080p, but it's still going to be fucking 1080p.
So,
everyone go online and look at those scales they have of viewing distance versus TV size and resolution, and you'll see at what point having 4K actually matters at both screen size and distance. And I'm going to just say 90% of people, it's not going to fucking matter. If your TV's 20 feet away, it's not going to fucking matter.
I feel like
4K
Microsoft
versus
is
1080p.
fleecing its fan base here.
You think?
Yeah.
You think?
Yes. They have
You think?
they don't have anything to go on. They don't have a strong set of exclusive titles to go on.
They've seeded that, saying that in the future you can just basically buy the Xbox One game and play it on your computer.
So they're just releasing these upgrades and hoping people buy them. I mean, the Xbox One S was what, 300 or 400 at launch. Now the Xbox One X, like a year and a half later, is it 2 years later? Is 500.
One S was August of last year, so we're talking a year and a half between One S and One X.
It's crazy.
It's insane. If I bought a One S, I'd be like, what the fuck? You know, like I could have just waited. If I had the X, and then first of all, yeah, if anyone had both the Xbox One regular and then the S and then the X, I don't know who's spending $1,500 to get all three when they first launch. You know, that's insane.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's. And this article says it, but it's an opinion that I kind of came to. All I think the Xbox One X did
teraflops
at a $500 price point is make the Xbox One S more attractive.
I can see that.
If you want an Xbox console right now and you're looking at this, especially if you don't have a 4K TV,
there's no reason to get a regular Xbox One anymore. There's no point. Right?
There's no point. And
you even buy those brand new anymore?
No, probably. I don't think you can. So, I mean, why spend $500?
Well, you spend
$250.
$50.
Half the price.
They claim they weren't making money at a $500 price point, Microsoft.
No, they probably... I mean, maybe they're not.
Not at the start. Maybe in scale down the line they will be. So what is the real strategy? They just want to say, because they still haven't caught up to the PS4 in terms of sales, right?
No.
So... This is just saying we have the most powerful console ever. This is a hardcore gaming console. Games, who the fuck cares? We have no games that you can't get elsewhere, right?
I guess.
And that's where we're at.
Sure.
Teraflops.
Teraflops. But lest anyone think... I mean, what are we going to next? Oh, well...
Backwards compatibility, Ian, with OG Xbox games.
That's actually kind of cool, but...
But it's not every Xbox game. It's like the 360 deal where certain titles will come out, but they've already said that it's going to be less titles than 360. So they're going to pick and choose which ones because of licensing deals, for example. So it's not an emulator, really, at the end of the day then. That, like, they're not going to allow you to get any regular Xbox disc and throw it in and play it.
They're going to handle it the same way that they're handling the 360 now. The 360 backwards compatibility, as far as I can tell. Backwards compatibility... It depends on how you look at it. I'm not going to be a huge poo-pooer on this. It's a great...
It's a bonus.
It's a great bonus for certain people. Depending on how you want to look at it. For me, and I said this, it's the reason why I got rid of my 80 gigabyte PS3. So this is not me just shitting on Microsoft. If backwards compatibility is not very close to 99 or 100%, and I have to pull out an old console to play some weird shit that I want to play, Meaning, if I have a library, let's say I have 10 games, and it's going to play 7 of those 10 games, but I want to play all of those 10 games, and I'm going to have to pull out an old console to play those other 3 games, then the backwards compatibility is useless to me, because I might as well just leave the old console out.
Well, this isn't true backwards compatibility. This isn't like throwing a GameCube game into a Wii where every GameCube game is going to play.
Exactly.
This is, we have the license to put some of these on. We're probably giving some cutting some check to the developers from back then to allow this to exist for some reason, because it probably cuts into sales, digital sales somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, the Xbox 360 only got up to 385 for backwards compatibility on Xbox One. That's not close to half the library, right? So this is going to be less. How many Xbox games were there? Over 1,000? Xbox OG. What's the regular? Now, what's the original Xbox? When I search for it, what do I do now?
This is what I was.
What do I do?
This is what I was.
Fuck you, Microsoft. How do I search for this now?
We always have to abbreviate things. I was just going to say, I mean, luckily we don't have to differentiate between Xbone, but I was like, if this was a new system, how would I abbreviate this? Xbox.
How do I search for it? Xbox console. Let's say Xbox game. There was Pat was actually I have Xbox now. There was 1,045 titles on OG Xbox.
Yeah.
So if this is going to be less than 385, it's not, like I said, then this is not really an emulator. Then this is something else. This is just basically allowing some games to be played, to basically be emulated on it, but it's not emulating. It's not open to every game. So then if you have all those green shelled games, the ones you can pick up for 50 cents each at the swap meet, don't buy them to think you can play them on an Xbox One.
It's not true backwards compatibility. What was the last system that had true backwards compatibility?
Probably the Wii.
Wii U?
Oh, Wii U.
I don't know how accurate it was, but yes, I think the Wii U.
Sure. Even though it was playing it like on a Wii emulator front end, like
yeah,
I booted up into like a Wii OS. So yeah, you're right about that. That's probably closest. Probably closest. Yeah. Someone probably say that in the organization they'll pick out the 2 games that didn't work on it, but yeah, that's the last one.
Yeah, or the PS360 gig, but not the 80 gig.
That wasn't 100% though. It was good.
60 gig was about 99.
We'll take it. We'll take that. We'll take that, Ian. But I guess Nintendo was the last one to really do that.